Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome. Today's show is will be not that long, but very uh, informative in terms of what is going on in the struggle and in Africa and the world as a whole. So tomorrow will be the laid to rest to the First Lady. We all know all this why she was in the mortuary. She was supposed to be laid to rest tomorrow, and we all know the program for tomorrow has been made clear. Tomorrow, the president's wife will be put to rest, and we all should keep praying for the president.
I have found a friend in Jesus, he's everything to me. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul.
Let's keep praying for the president. That's the program.
All I need to cleanse and make me
So tomorrow she'll be laid to rest.
In sorrow, he's my comfort. In trouble, he's my stay. He tells me every
So let's pray for the president for strength to overcome this difficult moment. And we all know he's a man of strength. He's a man of courage. So tomorrow the program will be
I have all for him forsaken, and all my idols torn from my heart, and now he keeps me by his power.
So you can see the program on the screen. It's tomorrow, October 15th. So you can see the address, you can see everything in Texas. So please do all you can to attend this reception in commemoration of the president's wife. It's a difficult moment, but we must keep giving courage, keep pouring our condolences, message of condolence to the president. Thank you very much.
He's a lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will be talking about the activities that happen. You all know that the Canada conference was called by La Republique, and we saw everything that happened in the Grand National Dialogue. Okay, so today I want to talk about dialogue and negotiation, because some of us think that the interim government did not just want to go to the negotiation because we just wanted to stay out of it. No. A negotiation process is a process that has structure and stage by stage. Okay, it's not just a conference. A negotiation is not a conference, and it's not like a dialogue that you go to dialogue among yourselves. So we of the interim government, we wanted a structured negotiation. The one that Swiss was the mediator was very structured, and it has those ingredients of a true negotiation. Okay, if you look at the negotiation process, okay, it must have all those aspects that makes a communication, from communication to commitment. Those are the things you have to ask yourself. Was a Canadian conference, was it good communicated? No. It was not. They imagine that they just tell you 3 weeks before a conference or before a meeting or whatever they call a retreat that you have to go to. You have to go to a kind of program, right? But 3 weeks to how do you prepare? That is what we call commitment. Was the La Republique committed to this, or they just wanted to invite people in Canada to go and talk among themselves? That is what we are talking. If you have a negotiation process that the parties do not show commitment, it is not going to follow the normal trend. So the interim government took to itself and said, no, we will not attend this conference because it doesn't have those ingredients that you can call a negotiation. Okay. Another aspect that you look, how was the communication? How was the ground rules? La Republique cannot set us ground rules and tell us that in the conference this is what will be discussed. Then you tell us what will be discussed. Then you don't tell us. You don't give us a chance to also decide on what we want to talk about. That is not a kind of negotiation process. Okay, we want to talk about the root causes. The Republic say you want to talk about the form of state. You want to talk about the form of state. We want to talk about the root causes. So, if the international community has stipulated that any negotiation that you are not committed and the parties are not in good terms, in good relationship, okay, it will be very difficult. Okay, it will be very difficult, especially when it comes to different aspect of negotiation. Okay, if you said you are in a negotiation process, okay, and you don't want to follow the normal trend, for example, okay, La Republic did not follow the normal trend of discussion. They set the ground rules and wanted us to follow the rules. Whereas, if you look at the Swiss-led process, we had a mediator. First of all, that was very different. But if you look at this case for this Canada conference, Canada did not play that same role. The role Canada played was to just accept all what La Republic is saying and inform us and say, okay, we'll be going to Quebec. You see, we'll be going to Canada to go and see, to go and talk. So, what is the talk about? Why is there a limitation of what we have to talk about? Okay, why? So those are the questions that most people were asking. Okay, that why was there a limitation of what we were supposed to talk about and all other aspects that were supposed to be discussed? Okay, that is where most people had bone of contention. Look at this, the type of the communication. The communication was very short. Imagine they just call you 2 to 3 weeks before a conference and say, hey, Ambazonian leader, we want you to meet in Canada. Okay. How do you tell somebody so brief? How do you plan that kind of thing? Because we are a structured nation. We have a kind of organization that we have to respect those before the president goes for any international conferences and all those things. There's a lot of consultation that goes around. Okay, you cannot just wake up one morning and say, the Ambazonian leader should meet somewhere, or then the other leaders, the other frontline leaders meet somewhere. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of consultation among them. There's a lot of consultation among the government, the interim government. There's communication with the Restoration Council. There's communication with the Judicial Council. So all these people have communication that goes around. Then they finalize now with all the other stuff. So it's not just wake up one morning and say, come to Canada. I think La Republique should learn from this, because a real negotiation should have all these ingredients that we are talking about. Good communication. The communication was very poor because they used the Canada to communicate to us about what is going on. And Canada was not a mediator like Swiss was. Swiss was a mediator in the Swiss-led process, where they communicate and communicate and communicate and communicate, and they try to put the ground rules. Okay, not La Republique put the ground rules as they did for this Canada process. It's quite different. So we should understand that. Okay. If you look at the issues, we have to follow this process, how the negotiation works, those agreements, the resolve, the dispute, okay, the negotiation, those compromises that we have to follow. Okay. If we don't follow this, then we are heading to another Fumban, like most people say. The Fumban conference, there was nothing signed. There was no agreement. There was nothing on paper. That's why if you ask La Republique today that they should show you paper that we sign anything that happened, there's none. Okay, there's none. And you see that they just went ahead and did their own things and come and impose on the people of Southern Cameroon that this is what is going on. This is a form of state now. This is a result of a referendum. This is what you have to accept. Okay. You come to people's place and impose them their own election. Okay, then you conduct it and the election result comes out. Then you impose it on them because the election was fraud. Okay, you remember the we and yes election? The we and yes, the two yes and we. Okay, that is what went on. But now we're talking about negotiation because we have learned from the past. If you don't negotiate well, La Republique will use you. That is what. Okay, just take for example the dialogue, the national dialogue that they had in their La Republique capital there. What is the purpose for it when nothing came out from it? Because they say they're giving us special status. What special status? what is so special about the status when you still have the governors there, the SDOs, the DOs, their own appointed mayors, their own appointed civil servants? They still control everything that is Southern Cameroon. You go to the Sonara, how many Southern Cameroon are directors of Sonara since the opening of the oil refinery? How many Southern Cameroon have been director of CDC? Then you come and tell us you have given us special status. The special status has no relevance. Okay, no relevance. If they want to give, if they want to show us Quebec's example of Quebec, Quebec is a country in Canada because they're autonomous. Quebec, they have their own lottery. They have Quebec lottery where they play like you have American lottery. They have their own Quebec. They have their own. So Quebec is like the name of the country and the name of the city, biggest city, capital city. So they are in Canada, but they are autonomous. And don't forget, the current president now is Quebec. Is a Quebecer. The people from Quebec are called Quebecers. So the Quebec, Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, this current Prime Minister of Canada, is from Quebec. So know that very well. Then in all the French countries, any representative of those countries are from Quebec. So we should take note of that. I said that last time, that we have two representation in Southern Cameroon and La Republique. One is Francophonie, which is because of La Republique. Then the other one is the other one is being part of the Commonwealth. Okay, the Commonwealth. So all these countries, we are part of the Commonwealth and part of Francophonie because we have two countries. It's only countries that are represented in the Commonwealth, right? So La Republique is a member of Francophonie. Southern Cameroon is a member of Commonwealth. And as it is in Canada, let's start bringing lessons from Canada. If La Republique want to take us to Canada to go and school us about Canada, let's tell them how Canada works. Quebec is a country. They have their own system. They have everything on their own system. Okay. All countries because Quebec speaks the French. That should be clear. Let's understand that first. Quebec is a country that inside Canada that speaks the French. So all countries that are French in the world, the ambassadors come from Quebec because of French. All countries now that are English, the Canadian has what we call High Commission. They send now the English people in those English countries around the world. So if La Republique want to teach us about Quebec, all countries in the world that are English has to have the Ambazonian Southern Cameroon ambassadors. Like in America, we've never had an Anglophone or Southern Cameroonian who is an ambassador. No one day. So what do you want to school us about Quebec or about Canada? Can the Republic even respect that these simple rules? They can never respect it. So when they talk about the one to school us about Canada, can they even respect simple things? They cannot even respect simple laws, international law, simple signatory things. They don't respect them. How can you trust this kind of country? You cannot. So we have to go to a negotiation about conflict. Conflict negotiation is something that we have to go into a proper negotiation. Okay, we don't want anything that you come and shake hands and go back. No, everything on paper, written on paper, because La Republique has taught us about verbal agreement. Remember, our parents in Fumban did with verbal agreement. I think maybe that was even wiser, because back then, La Republique would have been showing this document now like this. This is the document we signed. This is the document that our parents signed. But good enough, it was verbal. So the agreement was verbal, it's good. Then you can show me that this is the signature of what they signed. This is what your parents signed. Nothing. There's nothing on paper. So that was even good for them, because it's a verbal agreement. But today, everything will be on paper. Because La Republique cannot turn around and say, he did not sign or she did not sign. Yes, it will be on paper. That's what we're talking about. Okay. I want us to define this negotiation. Okay. Negotiation is a consensual bargaining process. Consensual means the two of you agree. Okay. Bargaining process in which parties attempt to reach agreement on a disputed or potentially disputed matter. Okay, I want you to understand this definition here, because let's see if La Republique meet these definitions. The most common form of dispute resolution is a negotiation process by which the parties voluntarily seek a mutually accepted agreement to resolve their common dispute. The decision or agreement of negotiation is reached and made by the parties, not by a third parties. Okay? This thing means that two of you, consensual means you agree, the two of you. Another way they talk of attempt to reach an agreement. Of course, we have to reach an agreement. They also talk of voluntarily seek a mutually accepted agreement to resolve their dispute. We at La Republique, we are going to agree voluntarily. Then they talk of that the decision or the agreement of negotiation is reached and made by the parties, not by a third party. So negotiation process is a lengthy process. This is what they are trying to say. It's a process. The third party comes in as a mediator, but the third party doesn't decide on the outcome. The two parties decide on the outcome. So that should be made clear, because the way La Republique is doing now is trying to tell us, let's go to Canada. But people are asking, why did you leave the Swiss-led negotiation in the first place? If you want something that is genuine, why did you leave the Swiss-led negotiation? I don't know. Then that is why the Swiss process was a negotiation. Look at the definition here on the screen. That is the definition of negotiation. But when you talk of the one they had in Yaoundé, the Grand National Dialogue, it has nothing to do like this. It was just meeting there, then La Republique, they come out with their own thing, and they say, okay, this is what we'll give you, special status. How do you give us a special status? Who are you to give us a special status? When you never gave us any special status, first of all. We had our independence in 1961. None of you weren't even there. The people of La Republique who are even afraid to celebrate their independence. 1st of January, they are ashamed to even celebrate it. So why do you impose us your own terms when you go and make a dialogue then in Yaoundé? We have made it clear we are for root causes. Okay? Root causes. So you not just wake up one day and they are trying to tell La Republique the don'ts and the do's. Okay? Don't see it as a contest. Negotiation is not a contest issue. If La Republique is trying to compete, we are not competing with La Republique. If they care, they can keep doing what they are doing. But we know what negotiation is, okay? We want to see this negotiation as a joint effort, okay? Like a win-win. Because at the end of the day, whether La Republique carry their special forces, their special status, their whatever, they will go back to negotiation table. That's why we will not be bothering, we will not be rushed to Canada, rushed to Sweden. We will not be rushing. Nobody can rush us. We will take our time, follow the process of a negotiation that the international community has supported, and it's spelled out. Negotiation without precondition. Without precondition. Another one is don't bargain over position. That is the second one. We have to solve this problem. It's a problem. And if we don't go to the root cause, how do you solve the problem? Ask yourself. Okay? Don't attack people. La Republique is attacking people, arresting people, doing all those things. How do you help to solve the problem? The problem is the root causes of the problem. It's not attacking people. You can arrest, go to Nigeria, arrest. See, they went to Nigeria to arrest President Chris Anu. How will that help the struggle? We are 8 million Ambazonians. If you arrest maybe 1 million, 7 million will still keep fighting. They should know that in their head. You cannot go, instead of attacking the problem, you're instead attacking the people. Okay? How do you solve the problem? Okay? We are trying to see how we have those common interests. This is what happened in 1961. This is what happened in 1972. This is what happened in 1984. And we want to amend those things and see, okay, this is the issue, this is the issue. We are going to the root causes. Okay. La Republique is focused on one solution. Before, they never wanted to hear about a form of state. Now they are talking about a form of state. After killing our people, burning our villages, killing our parents, killing our children, raping, imprisonment, incommunicado, all kinds of things. You come now and say, okay, let's talk about a form of state. At the beginning, people like Mancho BBC, all these other people that most of them are in jail today, they were the ones that just mentioned about federation. But they are still in jail. Okay. It's a sad thing, but that is what happened. Okay. It's sad. We have to resolve this thing for a win-win. That's negotiation. Like we want to make win, they let us lose. We cannot lose. We cannot lose because it's a win-win. If the Republic is ready for negotiation, fine and good. We'll sit on the negotiation table. Okay? We'll sit on the negotiation table. That's what we are. That's what we want. We want something be on a win-win. Okay? La Republique should follow the normal procedure for any negotiation. Okay? We know that negotiation will take long because, one, there will be fact-finding. Fact-finding means they'll go to the ground. The Swiss government was sent out, was not accepted to go to Boya. How can a mediator, and I understand the difficulty that the Swiss government was facing, because the Republic government was not collaborating with the Swiss government. The thing was dragged. The ACT team and the other frontline leaders were already ready, waiting for the negotiation process. Okay. That was a difficulty that they had. At the end of the day, what happened? The Swiss government was still ready to be the mediator. Was still ready. Exploration, resistance, reformation of strategies. These are the problem solving, agreement, follow up. Okay, these are the process that we want to follow, because negotiation has a procedure and a process. But if you skip from stage 1, you rush to stage 10. It's not going to work like that. So we are following those procedures so that both parties have a win-win. Okay, it's a win-win something. You know, no matter what, after the process, we want a peaceful relationship between La Republique and Southern Cameroon. We're going to be neighbors forever. We're going to be neighbors forever. So that relationship will be there. We want a peaceful relationship. We don't want to fight forever with them. No. Peaceful separation, like we did with Nigeria. I don't know why this is difficult. We left Nigeria. Our parents were there in Nigeria for more than 40 years. When they said that this thing is not working, they left peacefully. Okay? And La Republique is fighting us when we say we don't want to stay with them. I don't know why this is a problem. Okay? We want a peaceful relationship with the neighbors, with them. We don't want Okay, La Republique don't want to follow the stages of, okay, there's no preparation, there is no bargaining, there is no exchange of information, there is nothing. There's no commitment. Those stages of negotiation, La Republique don't want to follow. They want to just call us somewhere in Canada and say, come, let's talk. What? Then they are telling us, setting the ground rules for us. It's so funny. So we want something that is clean, fair, and transparent. So that, because we are representing our people, we're not going to Canada or to anywhere or any negotiation without feedback from our people, from the ARFs, from the Ambazonian people, from the within the interim government, from the counties and LGAs. Those are the people that give us feedback. When they give us feedback, this is their position. And up till now, the position of most Ambazonians have not changed. They just want a peaceful separation. Peaceful. Because you cannot force a people against their will. You cannot. It's so difficult. No matter what they turn around, it'll be very difficult to impose on the people of Southern Cameroon what they want. Okay? Very, very difficult. That is very, very clear. Because, yeah. When whatever happens, we'll be good neighbors. See, look at the negotiation that happened with Ethiopia. Hmm? This is Ethiopia and Eritrea. After the war, they had a long, long war. That's them hugging. They they negotiated and they signed the deal. That's the see, Ethiopian and Eritrean. That's them signing. That's two of the people that signed between Ethiopia and Eritrea. That is how negotiation is. You sign and you still know that you should be peaceful neighbors. Because when you fight like that and there's separation, two of you now will be neighbors. Do you want a neighbor that is still disturbing you? No, we don't want that kind of neighbor. We don't want, like, after we separate peacefully, we don't want La Republic to be knocking our door every night. Hmm? Peaceful neighbors. Because we already have good boundary. We'll not be arguing that this land is my land, this land is not my land. We'll not have anything like that. Okay. This one is Somaliland and Somalia. These are them peaceful separation. After they will fight for years, they separated. That's international community signing their as them. Okay, that is how it is. That is how we're gonna hold hands at the end of the negotiation. Okay, Sudan. This is Sudan and South Sudan. They negotiated their deal. See, that's the Kenyan president Uhuru. Uhuru helped in the negotiation process. Kenya helped. That's Sudan and the South Sudan after the long war that they had. That's how they shake hands. Okay, you see, that is them both shaking, holding hands after negotiation. So no matter what La Republic does, we're gonna be holding hands at the end of everything. We're gonna hold hands and we're gonna still be okay in unison. So that is what La Republique has to understand. Okay, that we gonna still remain as good neighbors. Okay, no matter how many years of fighting and how many years of whatever happens, we're gonna remain as good neighbors. Yep. Look at the agreement as it's been signed. Yep. That's the agreement. You can see presidents of both countries, Sudan and South Sudan. Yeah. Yeah. Then you can see so before we go for the when I come back, we're going to talk about Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, the Nigerian Biafran leader who has been released. Let's have this musical break and come back. Thank you. This is what happened yesterday. There was the release of the Nigerian freedom fighter called Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu. Okay, Nnamdi Kanu has been released. This is
Nnamdi Kanu don't win. And we say trial court say he cannot try person where you know extradite, where you know go through legal process to bring back to Nigeria. Where you go by night, steal am like thief, come back, then he go say he go try am. Say that kind of thing no dey possible under Nigerian law and under international law. And na so I dey talk am since last year July. So today I dey happy say Court of Appeal don't validate them.
So what will be the next step for now?
The next,
is this the judgment now? It means say Nnamdi Kanu go come up for
for
detention
now. So the judgment now, the process we say we'll go get the certified copy of the judgment, we'll go serve the DSS, and then from there I ain't go home. Because the discharge and acquittal means say he no get case to answer again. So there won't be any trial. Remember last July, I granted an interview to BBC where I said that there is going to be trial within trial and that Nnamdi Kanu will not undergo any trial. I made that prediction far back as July 2021, and today I am vindicated.
What if government now won't go higher court?
Well, if they go want now, maybe now they are right. If they want go higher court, maybe Supreme Court. But you know, we say the moment we go higher court, the thing where the lower court don't nullify. You know, they like that.
Is there one thing we got to add?
Okay, you do well as a follow stop. I'm done.
Okay.
That's the lawyer, the lead lawyer of the Nnamdi Kanu release. So he's explaining, and you heard, you know, you cannot go to a country and extradite someone who is an asylum seeker or is that country's president. You just go and arrest a person international law has its own peripheries that you have to transcend. You cannot just go to some country and arrest someone. You know, extradition law is very critical law. Okay. Cameroon government did not follow any extradition, and that's why the Nigerian government still passed that order that Seseko Ayok, Julius, all the Naira 10, and about 41 of other members who are still in jail there in La Republique to be sent back. Yes, the court ordered. The Nigerian court ordered the same thing that they did to Nnamdi Kanu. But with La Republique, with their own way of doing things, they don't respect laws. They don't respect these international things. Okay? How do you want to trust this kind of people? They don't respect those laws. Look at Nnamdi Kanu is released. There is a lot of jubilation. That's him. You know, he has been released. Look at his people coming to jubilate his release. It is so sad that you see things happening. You know, the La Republique want us to trust them when they don't respect international laws. Okay, they mostly sign those laws. They will be signatory for the Geneva Convention. They are signatory for different conventions, but they don't respect them. How do you trust this kind of people? So it's only through a third party that we can go to any negotiation process with La Republique. Nothing less, nothing. We will not make that mistake that our parents did in Fumban. It will not be a verbal or a handshake. No. It's written negotiation. Everything on paper. Well spelled out. Because these La Republique people don't trust them. That is what happened in the past days. Like, probably want us to go to a negotiation or to go to a conference instead of a negotiation. We will not. You cannot leave Switzerland negotiation process that has been ongoing. You never showed your commitment. There was very poor communication. You never let people know what you think about how this crisis should be resolved. You do not show your consent. How will you trust this kind of? You can't trust it because it wasn't the right procedure, right? It wasn't. La Republique want us to go and negotiate, but in Canada, then they are the one setting the ground rules. You can have a negotiation process and you impose on the ground rules. You impose on the preparation and planning. You impose on the ground rules, definition of the ground rules. You impose on the clarification and justification. Everything. You impose on everything, then you want people to go and sit. No. In negotiation, all these things are done by each party, and they seek for a third party. In the Swiss-led process, we saw Switzerland came in as a third party. There was preparation, there was planning, there was all that ingredient that tells you this is a genuine negotiation. Okay. The Swiss government even defined the ground rule. The ground rule was no preconditions. That was very good ground rule that the Switzerland government made, and that's why we're going with open-minded. We're very open-minded. Say, okay, well, let's go and talk and talk and talk. Sit on the negotiation table and talk. Okay, that is what we're talking about. The stages of negotiation. You don't just leave from stage 1 and go to stage 3. Okay, ask yourself the bargaining, the problem solving, all these things. Okay, how do we close this negotiation? How do we implement what has been discussed? Because La Republique is good at that. That they can go, you can go and sit with them for the next time, but they will not even follow all what they have signed. They will not follow it. That is why more countries like La Republique, the only thing that is good for them is sanctions. Sanctions, because that is what can only push them. But you all know they have the backing of France. And if France is behind you, you are good. Okay, you are good. If France is behind you, you are good. Okay. But let's listen at what this guidance is. Canada reportedly fronting fresh dialogue to end Anglophone crisis. Okay. Here begs for freedom after losing war. These are the headlines that you see on newspapers. But okay, look at what Thibon Nagy said. I like this man. This guy is a pure Ambazonian. This guy. I want Thibon Nagy, what Thibon Nagy said, okay? This is comment. Okay? He said, we all know how Southern Cameroon crisis will end. Anglophones will be given their own country. Okay? Either in a kind of federation system. That's what Thibon Nagy is trying to say. I just want us to go back to that Thibon Nagy's comment, that we can listen, see what he's trying to say here. Okay. So he said Anglophones will gain their independence. Okay. Either by having that kind of system within the Republic or full-fledged independence. That is what we are talking about. Canada can be doing what they can to help, good and fine, but they must play the role as Switzerland government played. Okay, that is what we want. We want, if Canada want to come out, they should come out clean. Okay, we want a genuine process. Okay, genuine process. We don't want something that is determined by one person. That will not be good for us, because we want something that is genuine and we can hold either party responsible. Okay, and that is what we are talking about here. And thank you. Okay. Because of time, we'll be ending here today. That's what we got for today. We're gonna talk more days ahead about other matters. Okay. Thank you very, very much. ask God for long life and to grant us genuine mercies. Okay.
Let us move on to our next questioner at the microphone over there. Mr.
Welcome to America, Mr. Mandela. I'm Ken Edelman.
I want
Those
you
of
to
us who
listen to
share your struggle for human rights and
Mandela.
against apartheid have been somewhat disappointed by the models of human rights that you have held up since being released in jail. You've met over the last 6 months 3 times with Yasser Arafat, who you have praised. You have told Gaddafi that you share the view on, and applaud him on his record of human rights and his drive for freedom and peace around the world. And you have praised Fidel Castro as a leader of human rights and said that Cuba was one of the countries that's head and shoulders above all other countries in human rights, despite the fact that documents at the United Nations and elsewhere show that Cuba is one of the worst. I was just wondering, are these your models of leaders of human rights? And if so, would you want a Gaddafi or an Arafat or a Castro to be a future president of South Africa?
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their
enemy should be my enemy.
Should be our enemy.
That's Mandela. That's Nelson Mandela talking. Your enemy should not be my enemy. Listen.
That we can and we will never do. We have our own struggle which we are conducting. We are grateful to the world for supporting our struggle. But nevertheless, we are an independent organization with its own policy. And the attitude of every country towards, our attitude towards any country is determined by the attitude of that country to our struggle. Yasser Arafat, Colonel Gaddafi, Fidel Castro support our struggle to the hilt. There is no reason whatsoever why we should have any hesitation about hailing their commitment to human rights as they are being demanded in South Africa. Our attitude is based solely on the fact that they fully support the anti-apartheid struggle. They do not support it only in rhetoric. They are placing resources at our disposal for us to win the struggle. That is the position.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, tomorrow, the president's wife will be laid to rest. Please send some condolence to the president. You know, the wife will be put to rest tomorrow. So the program is in Houston, Texas. So it'll be nice. That is the program, as you can see on the screen, the reception, everything. Please try and join in the process for the farewell for the First Lady. be, as you can see, it will be in Houston, Texas. That is so. Don't forget to be part of it, and it's.
I have found a friend in Jesus, he's everything to me. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. The lily of the valley, in him alone I see. All I need to cleanse and make me fully whole.
A farewell to Madam President.
In sorrow, he's my
May her soul rest in perfect peace.
He tells me every care on him to roll. He's a lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. Oh, my griefs
Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching.
He's my strong and mighty tower.
Thank you.
Forsaken, and all my heart is